Griffith did nothing wrong. Casca enjoyed it. I'm not one of those guys, but I will say Griffith is heavily misunderstood. I've seen people say Griffith is the pinnacle of evil within Animanga, which is just such a lie. Clearly stemming from blatant ignorance from people fixated on what he did to Casca, or just misunderstanding his character entirely. While I will say Griffith has done some bad things or even evil things, Griffith held such resolve over his dream to have his own kingdom. He went to many lengths to achieve it, from the sacrifices of men on the battlefield to sacrificing even his dignity, as he exclaims that he'd rather sacrifice himself than watch any more innocent children die over his dream. Outside of his dream, nothing really mattered to Griffith, which is why Casca held such malice towards Guts, as she told him he can't get in the way of that dream. As time progresses, we see Griffith go to even more extremes to achieve his dream, from more dangerous battles that seem unwinnable, to even killing the king's wife as a display of victory over them, and even accidentally having Guts kill a child, of which Griffith showed no remorse despite his earlier depleted state over the death of innocent children when it came to his dream. This is a great display of Griffith's development as a character to the gratuity of others' lives in regard to his dream, albeit with a single exception: Guts. Griffith had been obsessed with Guts as though he didn't exist as a person, but a sword on the side of Griffith he could use to execute any goal, and when that sword was lost from him, Griffith became clouded for the first time. He partakes in actions that are unrelated to his dream due to his mental angst, leading to his arrest and torture. From here on, Griffith is just fucked up. To put simply, he's just fucked up. He is literally physically incapable of attaining his dream. With no tongue and diminished body, his dream was over, all because of his own neurosis over a single man. With the eclipse taking place and Griffith's precious band of the Hawks being brandished as sacrifices, this is where people turncoat and label Griffith evil. As I've highlighted throughout the entirety of this video, the only thing that matters to Griffith is his dream, and with the state he was in, it was nigh impossible to go any further and reach that place he desired in his heart. And seeing his own being be so broken after betraying his dream once, could he afford to decline this offer and do it once more? The decision to sacrifice the Band of the Hawks didn't come without ambivalence from Griffith. Showing Griffith not as a heartless monster that happily chose the destruction of others with no contrition, but instead, despite how strongly he felt about his dream, it was not an easy choice. But with the God Hand displaying the steps built by the lives lost for his dream already, making it seem as though their deaths shouldn't be in vain, he took the offer, sacrificing those that had been sacrificing themselves on the battlefield for his dream all along. Now, this leads to Casca, of which I'm not sure what to say. I thought he did it to create a new vessel for himself, but I don't know, maybe that shit was just pure evil. But after the events of the eclipse, we see Griffith and Guts meet once more, and Griffith said two things to Guts after saving Casca: "I will not betray my dream, that is all." Highlighting how nothing shall come in between his dream and how nothing should have came in between his dream. And the second thing he said to Guts was, "You should have known, this is the man I am." Referring to, at least in my interpretation of this, he is the type of man who will do nothing in the strife to attain what he wants, and he highlights you of all people as Guts with the sword beside Griffith, spilling blood and adding steps to help Griffith reach that place, regardless of what Griffith asked him. The only difference here is, Griffith added someone that Guts cared about to these steps to attain his dream. Now, is Griffith a good person? Fuck no, but everything he did was for his dream. We have people like Dio, Kirei, Sukuna, Frieza, All For One, Kinjaku, who are just evil with no second thought because they simply feel like it and have no reasoning outside of that. If Griffith had a way to attain his dream through more cordial or virtuous means, I'm sure he would have picked that route. But these other guys that I've named, Dio, Sukuna, Kirei, etc., they would go through the way that causes the most suffering for others, no doubt about it. I'm not saying Griffith is a good guy or he's not evil. I'm just saying at least he did it for a reason. The others like Dio, Sukuna, All For One, they're just being evil because they enjoy being evil. I don't see how if you go through evil means to attain your dream is more evil than just being evil because you want to be evil and it makes you happy. He is my second favourite antagonist in all of Animanga. I love Griffith, I love Berserk, but subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Mwah.